Manchester United transfer news. Two young stars joined the Red Devils. Welcome back to United Daily Updates. If you're watching this on our YouTube channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. We're your most trusted source for everything Manchester United, bringing you the latest news, transfer updates, and in-depth analysis every single day. The hook that changes everything. What if I told you that while everyone is talking about big money signings and established stars, Manchester United might have just secured their future with two teenagers you've probably never heard of? In a world where clubs spend hundreds of millions on proven talent, United are quietly building something special with smart, strategic signings that could define the next decade at Old Trafford. Introduction. Why these signings matter more than you think. Manchester United have just completed deals for two young players that might not grab headlines like a £100 million superstar would. But here's the thing. These signings tell us everything about where United are heading under Jim Ratcliffe and the new ownership structure. Charlie Hardie, a 16-year-old goalkeeper from Derby County, and Cristian Orozco, a 17-year-old Colombian midfielder, represent something bigger than just youth acquisitions. They show a club that's finally thinking long-term, building for the future while addressing immediate needs in smart, sustainable ways. But why should you care about two teenagers when United's first team is struggling? What does this tell us about the club's transfer strategy? And most importantly, could one of these young stars be playing at Old Trafford sooner than we think? Let's dive deep into these signings and explore what they really mean for Manchester United's future. Charlie Hardie, the next great United goalkeeper? Who is Charlie Hardie? Charlie Hardie isn't just any 16-year-old goalkeeper. This kid has already made waves in English football, and United have moved quickly to secure his signature before other big clubs could swoop in. Born and raised through Derby County's academy system, Hardie spent almost a decade with the Championship side. That's nearly his entire footballing life dedicated to one club, learning the fundamentals and developing his craft in a professional environment. But what makes Hardie special isn't just his age or his potential. It's what he's already achieved in his short career that should get United fans excited. What has he achieved so far? Let's talk numbers and achievements that matter. Hardie has already been capped 5 times for England under-16s. Now, you might think that's not a big deal, but consider this, there are thousands of goalkeepers his age across the country, and only a handful get called up to represent England at any level. The fact that he's not just been called up once, but 5 times, tells you that England's youth coaches see something special in this young keeper. They trust him in big games, in high-pressure situations against other top nations. But here's where it gets really interesting. Hardie made his debut for Derby's under-18 team when he was just 15 years old. Think about that for a moment. Most 15-year-olds are still figuring out their homework schedule, and Hardie was stepping up to face players 2 or 3 years older than him, holding his own between the posts. Even more impressive? He was named on the bench against United's own under-18s when he was only 14. Imagine being 14 years old and getting recognition from coaches that you're good enough to potentially face one of the biggest clubs in world football. The technical side. What type of goalkeeper is Hardie? While we don't have extensive footage of Hardie's playing style yet, his rapid rise through youth levels tells us a lot about his abilities. Modern goalkeepers need to be more than just shot stoppers. They need to be comfortable with the ball at their feet, good at distributing, and mentally strong enough to command their penalty area. Hardie's progression through England youth level suggests he ticks all these boxes. England's youth setup is renowned for developing well-rounded keepers who fit the modern game's demands. His early debut for Derby's under-18s also indicates physical and mental maturity beyond his years. You don't throw a 15-year-old into that environment unless you're confident they can handle the pressure and perform when it matters. Why did United want him? Manchester United's interest in Hardie tells us several things about how the club views their goalkeeping future. Currently, United have established keepers in the first team, but planning for the future is crucial in modern football. Hardie represents a low-risk, high-reward investment. He's young enough to be molded into exactly the type of goalkeeper United want, but talented enough to potentially make an impact sooner rather than later. The fact that United moved quickly to secure his signature, getting Premier League ratification for his transfer, shows they were serious about this deal. They didn't want to lose him to other interested clubs. The development path at United. Hardie will initially join United's under-18 setup, where he'll be coached by Darren Fletcher. Now, having Fletcher involved in his development is huge for the young keeper. Fletcher knows what it takes to succeed at Manchester United. He understands the pressure, the expectations, and the mentality required to wear the United shirt. Having him guide Hardie's early development could be the difference between potential and actual success. The plan seems clear. Hardie will develop with the under-18s, potentially moving up to under-21s as he progresses. If he continues to impress, he could sign his first professional contract when he turns 17 next July. But here's the exciting part. United's current goalkeeping situation means there could be opportunities for rapid progression if Hardy develops as expected. Cristian Orozco, the Colombian midfield maestro. From Colombia to Manchester, Orozco's journey. While Hardy's story is about English youth development, Cristian Orozco's path to United represents something different entirely. This 17-year-old Colombian midfielder embodies United's new strategy of looking beyond traditional markets to find future stars. Orozco has been developing his skills with Fortaleza in Colombia, a club known for producing talented young players who often make moves to European football. His journey to United's radar shows how global scouting networks can uncover gems in unexpected places. What makes Orozco's story compelling is that he's not moving immediately. United have agreed to a pre-contract deal, meaning he'll officially join the club in July 2025 when he turns 18. This shows patience and long-term planning, qualities that have been missing from United's transfer strategy in recent years. International recognition and big game experience. Orozco isn't just another youth player with potential. He's already proven himself on the international stage, representing Colombia at multiple youth levels. This international experience is invaluable for a player his age. But the real standout achievement is his role in Colombia's run to the final of the CONMEBOL South American Championships. This isn't just any tournament, it's where South America's best young talents compete against each other. Reaching the final means Orozco was playing against the continent's top young players and helping his team succeed at the highest youth level. That kind of experience, that pressure of big games and tournament football, is exactly what United need in their academy. Think about it. How many 17-year-olds have played in continental championship finals? It's a small, elite group, and Orozco is part of it. What position does he play? Orozco is described as a defensive midfielder, which immediately addresses one of United's biggest needs. The club has struggled in midfield this season, lacking the kind of player who can control games from deep positions. While Orozco won't solve United's immediate midfield problems, his signing shows the club is thinking ahead. Defensive midfielders are often the foundation of successful teams, and finding the right one can transform how a team plays. The description of Orozco having a fierce personality on the field is particularly interesting. This suggests he's not just technically gifted but also has the mental attributes needed for Premier League football. He's competitive, determined, and willing to put in the hard work required. Could he fast-track to the first team? Here's where things get really interesting. While Orozco will initially join United's academy ranks, there's already talk about potentially fast-tracking him to the first team if he adapts quickly. This isn't just wishful thinking. United's midfield struggles are well documented, and if a young player shows exceptional ability and maturity, modern football has shown that age doesn't always matter. Look at other young midfielders who have made immediate impacts at big clubs. The key factors are usually technical ability, physical readiness, and mental maturity. If Orozco has all three, there's no reason he couldn't be contributing to the first team sooner than expected. The South American connection. Orozco's signing is part of a broader strategy by United to tap into South American talent. The club has already signed Paraguayan defender Diego Leon from Cerro Porteño, and they continue to scout the continent for future stars. This makes sense for several reasons. South American players often have technical skills that are perfect for European football. They're used to playing under pressure from a young age, and they often have the mentality and hunger that top clubs need. The fact that United are willing to wait for Orozco, securing him with a pre-contract rather than demanding an immediate move, shows respect for his development and the South American approach to nurturing young talent. The bigger picture. What these signings tell us. United's new transfer philosophy. These two signings reveal a lot about how United are approaching the transfer market under their new ownership structure. Instead of panic buying expensive, established players, they're investing in young talent with huge potential. This approach has several advantages. First, it's more sustainable financially. Instead of spending 80 or 100 million on one player, United can secure multiple young talents for a fraction of that cost. Second, it allows for better squad planning. Young players can be developed specifically to fit United's playing style and culture. They grow up understanding what it means to play for Manchester United. Third, it reduces risk in some ways. While not every young signing will succeed, the financial outlay is much smaller. And when one does succeed, the value created can be enormous. Building for the long term. Both Hardy and Orozco represent long-term thinking. Hardy won't be United's first-choice goalkeeper next season, and Orozco won't solve their immediate midfield problems. But in 3 to 5 years, they could be key players. This kind of planning has been missing from United's strategy for years. Too often, the club has focused on short-term fixes, buying players who might help immediately but don't fit into a broader vision. Now, it seems like there's a clear plan. Identify young talent early, bring them into United's development system, and give them time to grow into first-team players, the academy renaissance. These signings also highlight United's renewed focus on their academy. For years, United's youth system was one of the best in world football. Players like Ryan Giggs, Paul Scholes, Gary Neville, and many others came through the ranks to become legends. In recent years, that production line had slowed down. But with signings like Hardy and Orozco, combined with better coaching and facilities, United might be rebuilding their reputation as a place where young players can develop into stars. Having Darren Fletcher involved in coaching these young players is particularly significant. Fletcher understands what it takes to succeed at United, and he can pass that knowledge on to the next generation. The competition. How do they compare? Goalkeeping prospects across Europe. When we look at Hardy in the context of other young goalkeepers across Europe, his early international recognition stands out. Many clubs are focusing on developing young keepers, but few have players who are already representing their country at 16. The key for Hardy will be adapting to United's style and expectations. Derby County, while a professional club, operates at a different level than Manchester United. The pressure, the scrutiny, and the standards are all higher. But his early recognition suggests he has the talent to make that step up. The question is whether he has the mentality and work ethic to maximize that talent. South American midfield talent. Orozco joins a rich tradition of South American midfielders who have succeeded in European football. From Juan Roman Riquelme to Casemiro, the continent has produced players who understand how to control games from midfield positions. What sets Orozco apart is his age combined with his international experience. Many South American players make the move to Europe at 20 or 21. Getting Orozco at 17 gives United more time to develop him specifically for their needs. The challenge will be adapting to the physical demands of English football. The Premier League is known for its intensity, and players from South America sometimes need time to adjust. Starting in the academy gives Orozco that adjustment period. Questions United fans are asking. Will these signings actually make a difference? This is the big question every United fan is asking. We've seen the club sign young players before who never made it to the first team. What makes Hardy and Orozco different? The answer lies in the level they've already reached. Both players have achieved things that set them apart from typical academy signings. Hardy's England caps and early professional debut, combined with Orozco's international tournament experience, suggest they're already operating at a higher level than most players their age. But success isn't guaranteed. Both players will need to continue developing, stay injury-free, and adapt to United's expectations. The club's job is to provide the right environment and coaching to maximize their potential. How soon could we see them in the first team? This depends on several factors. For Hardy, the path might be longer given United's current goalkeeping options. But goalkeeper is a position where opportunities can arise quickly due to injuries or form issues. For Orozco, the timeline could be shorter. United's midfield struggles mean there might be opportunities for a talented young player to make an impact sooner rather than later. If he shows exceptional ability in training and reserve games, he could find himself in first-team squads within a couple of years. What about their work permits and eligibility? This is particularly relevant for Orozco, coming from Colombia. Brexit has made it more difficult for young South American players to get work permits for English clubs. However, United's willingness to wait until he turns 18 suggests they're confident about his eligibility. Hardy, being English, won't face these issues. His move has already received Premier League ratification, meaning all the administrative hurdles have been cleared. Are United neglecting first-team needs? Some fans worry that focusing on young signings means United aren't addressing immediate first-team weaknesses. But these signings shouldn't be seen in isolation. United can pursue young talent while also targeting experienced players for immediate impact. In fact, having a strong youth development pipeline makes it easier to spend big money on certain positions because you know other areas are being addressed through youth development. The key is balance. United need some experienced signings to compete now, but they also need to invest in the future. These signings represent the latter, which is equally important. The development challenge. What United need to get right. Signing young talent is only the first step. The real challenge is developing these players into first-team contributors. United's record in this area has been mixed in recent years. The club needs to provide the right coaching, facilities, and opportunities for these young players to develop. This means having quality coaches at academy level, good training facilities, and a clear pathway from youth teams to the first team. It also means being patient. Both Hardy and Orozco will have setbacks, difficult periods, and times when their development stalls. United need to support them through these challenges rather than giving up too quickly. The role of loan moves. As these players develop, loan moves might become important. Playing regular first-team football at a lower level can be more beneficial than training with United's first team but not playing games. United will need to choose loan destinations carefully, ensuring that Hardy and Orozco go to clubs that will develop them in the right way. The wrong loan move can set a young player's development back significantly. Competition within the academy. Both players will also face competition from other talented youngsters within United's academy system. This competition can be healthy, pushing everyone to improve, but it also means not everyone will make it to the first team. United's job is to create an environment where this competition brings out the best in everyone, while also being realistic about how many players can ultimately succeed at the highest level. Financial implications. Value for money. From a financial perspective, these signings represent excellent value. While the exact fees haven't been disclosed, youth signings typically cost a fraction of established player transfers. If either Hardy or Orozco develops into a first-team regular, the return on investment could be enormous. Even if they don't reach the first team at United, developing them and selling them on can generate significant profits. This is part of modern football's economic reality. Clubs that develop young talent successfully can fund bigger signings through player sales. The broader strategy. These signings are part of a broader financial strategy that makes sense for United. Instead of spending $200 million every summer on established players, the club can spend smaller amounts on promising youngsters while being more selective about big-money signings. This approach requires patience from fans and ownership, but it's more sustainable long-term and can lead to better squad building. Salary structure benefits. Young players also fit better into salary structures. Hardy and Orozco will earn modest salaries initially, allowing United to invest more money in key first-team positions. As they develop and prove themselves, their salaries can increase accordingly. This creates a more balanced wage structure compared to signing established players on high salaries immediately. Comparisons with other top clubs. How do other clubs develop young talent? Manchester City, Chelsea, and other top clubs have invested heavily in youth development in recent years. City's academy has produced several first-team players, while Chelsea's loan system has helped develop numerous talents. United's approach with Hardy and Orozco fits into this broader trend of top clubs recognizing that youth development is crucial for long-term success. The key difference might be in how United integrate these players into the first team. Some clubs develop young players primarily to sell them for profit. United seem genuinely interested in developing these signings for their own first team. Learning from success stories. Looking at successful young signings by other clubs can provide insights into what United need to do right. Players like Pedri at Barcelona, Bukayo Saka at Arsenal, and Phil Foden at Manchester City all had certain factors in common. They were given opportunities at the right time, had patient development paths, and were supported through difficult periods. United need to provide similar support for Hardy and Orozco. Avoiding common pitfalls. Many promising young signings fail to reach their potential due to common mistakes. These include rushing players into first-team action too early, not providing proper support during difficult periods, or not having clear development plans. United's history with youth development gives them advantages in avoiding these pitfalls, but they need to apply lessons learned from both successes and failures. The coaching factor. Darren Fletcher's role. Having Darren Fletcher involved in coaching Hardy is significant. Fletcher made over 300 appearances for United and understands what it takes to succeed at the club. His experience as both a United player and Scotland international gives him credibility with young players. He can share insights about handling pressure, dealing with setbacks, and maintaining high standards. Fletcher's appointment to work with youth players suggests United are serious about bridging the gap between academy football and first-team success, the broader coaching setup. Beyond Fletcher, United need to ensure they have quality coaches throughout their youth system. Developing young players requires specialized skills that not all coaches possess. The club has invested in improving their coaching structure, but continued investment in this area is crucial for maximizing the potential of signings like Hardy and Orozco. Mentorship opportunities. As Hardy and Orozco develop, they'll benefit from mentorship opportunities with established first-team players. Learning from experienced professionals can accelerate development and help young players understand what's required at the highest level. United's current squad includes players who could serve as excellent mentors, helping these young signings adapt to the club's culture and expectations. Fan expectations and reality. Managing expectations. United fans are naturally excited about new signings, but it's important to have realistic expectations for young players. Both Hardy and Orozco are investments in the future rather than immediate solutions. Development is rarely linear. Both players will have good periods and difficult spells. Supporting them through the challenges is as important as celebrating their successes. The pressure of playing for United. Playing for Manchester United brings unique pressures that not all young players can handle. The scrutiny from media and fans is intense, and expectations are always high. Hardy and Orozco will need to develop mental resilience alongside their football skills. The club support system will be crucial in helping them manage these pressures. Building fan connection. For these signings to be truly successful, Hardy and Orozco need to build connections with United fans. This happens through performances on the pitch, but also through showing commitment to the club and understanding what it means to represent United. Fans are typically patient with young players who show dedication and improvement, even if they make mistakes along the way. The global context. United's international appeal. Signings like Orozco help maintain United's global appeal. Having players from different continents attracts fans from those regions and reinforces United's status as a global club. This commercial value shouldn't be overlooked. While football success is the priority, having international players can enhance United's marketability worldwide. Scouting network implications. These signings also demonstrate United's improved global scouting network. Finding talented players like Hardy and Orozco before other major clubs requires extensive scouting and good relationships with clubs and agents worldwide. Continued investment in scouting will be crucial for finding more gems like these two young players. Competition from other leagues. United face increasing competition from other leagues and clubs for top young talent. La Liga, Bundesliga, and even MLS are becoming more attractive destinations for young players. Maintaining United's appeal to young talent requires not just financial investment but also demonstrating a clear pathway from youth football to first-team success. Looking ahead, what success looks like. Short-term goals. For Hardy, short-term success means adapting quickly to United's youth setup, continuing his development as a goalkeeper, and maintaining his England youth international status. For Orozco, it means a smooth transition to English football when he arrives next year, adapting to the physical demands of the game, and showing the technical skills that attracted United's attention. Medium-term aspirations. In 3 to 4 years, success would mean both players being genuine contenders for first-team places. This doesn't necessarily mean they'd be guaranteed starters, but they should be good enough to contribute when needed. They should also be representing their countries at senior level, which would validate United's investment in their development. Long-term vision. The ultimate goal is for Hardy and Orozco to become key first-team players who contribute to United's success for many years. If even one of them achieves this, the signings will be considered hugely successful. Beyond individual success, these signings should also help establish United as a destination of choice for young talent worldwide. The ripple effect. Impact on other youth players. These high-profile youth signings also impact other young players in United's system. They raise standards, create healthy competition, and demonstrate that the pathway from academy to first team is real. Current academy players will be motivated by seeing the club invest in young talent and provide opportunities for development. Influence on future signings. Success with Hardy and Orozco could make it easier to attract other top young talents. Word spreads quickly in football about which clubs develop players well and which ones don't. If these signings work out, they could be the start of a new golden generation at United's academy. Cultural impact. Having young, hungry players in the system can also impact the culture throughout the club. Youth players often bring enthusiasm and determination that can be infectious. This cultural impact can be particularly valuable during difficult periods, helping maintain optimism about the future. Conclusion: 2 signings that could define United's future. As we wrap up this deep dive into United's latest youth signings, it's worth reflecting on what Charlie Hardy and Christian Orozco represent for Manchester United's future. These aren't just 2 random teenagers who might or might not make it in professional football. These are carefully selected young talents who have already shown they can perform at levels beyond their age. Hardy's England caps and early professional experience, combined with Orozco's international tournament success, mark them out as special prospects. But more than individual talent, these signings represent a shift in how United approach building their squad. Instead of constantly chasing expensive quick fixes, the club is investing in the future. They're showing patience, planning, and a belief in their ability to develop young players into first-team contributors. The success of these signings won't be measured in 6 months or even 2 years. It will be measured over the next 5 to 10 years, as we see whether Hardy and Orozco can fulfill their potential and contribute to United's return to the top of English and European football. What makes this exciting is the possibility. Imagine in 2030, United are challenging for the Premier League title with Charlie Hardy in goal and Christian Orozco controlling the midfield. Both players, developed through United's system, representing the club's commitment to building from within. Of course, that's the dream scenario. Reality might be different. Not every young signing succeeds, regardless of early promise. But the important thing is that United are giving themselves the best chance of uncovering the next generation of stars. These signings also send a message to other young players around the world. Manchester United is serious about youth development. They're willing to invest in teenagers, provide them with world-class coaching and facilities, and give them opportunities to progress to the highest level. For United fans, these signings offer hope and excitement about the future. While the first team continues to develop under current management, knowing that talented young players are coming through the system provides optimism for the years ahead. The journey for both Hardy and Orozco is just beginning. They'll face challenges, setbacks, and periods of doubt. But they'll also have opportunities that most young footballers can only dream of. The chance to develop at one of the world's biggest clubs, learn from experienced professionals, and potentially represent Manchester United at the highest level. As we continue to follow their progress on United Daily Updates, we'll be tracking every step of their development. From their first appearances in youth team matches to potential first-team debuts, these are stories worth following. So there you have it, United fans. Two signings that might not grab the headlines now, but could be the foundation of future success at Old Trafford. Charlie Hardy and Christian Orozco represent hope, potential, and the promise of better days ahead for Manchester United. Make sure you're subscribed to United Daily Updates to follow their journey and all the latest United news. We'll be here every step of the way, bringing you the insights and analysis you need to stay connected with your club. Until next time, keep believing in the future of Manchester United. These young signings remind us that sometimes the best investments are the ones that take time to mature. Hardy and Orozco might just be the start of something special at Old Trafford. Thanks for reading, and we'll see you in the next update.